What's up, everybody? It's HBT, man. Guys, sorry that I'm coming in here a little late, but hey, had to get everything straightened out. But hey, guys, I am here. Man, we're going to talk about some things that's going on in wrestling and pretty much go ahead and lay it down the line, man. Lay it down the line about what's going on in wrestling. We're going to talk about Bronson Reed, guys, and more, guys. Not just Bronson Reed, but we're going to start off here. We're going to talk about Bronson Reed. So most of this podcast, I'll be talking about Bronson Reed straight up, man. You know, hey, we're going to give him all the time in the world, man, all the time that he needs. Because, hey, we all know that Bronson Reed is being pushed very hard, guys. This guy is getting a major push right now from the WWE. So we're going to go ahead and talk about that and talk about what could be behind this push from Bronson Reed and why is Bronson Reed being pushed so hard, guys. He's been thrust in the spotlight. He's been basically forced in the spotlight, if you ask me, and a lot of people see that. So we definitely going to get into that, talk about Bronson Reed straight up, man. But I hope everybody is having a nice day this Wednesday. Let's see, it's Wednesday. Yeah, it is Wednesday. So hopefully everybody out here is having a nice day this Wednesday, guys. But yeah, let's go ahead and talk about some wrestling. And I'm gonna talk about Bronson Reed, and I'm gonna talk about some of the wrestlers that he remind me of, man. You can't see the picture behind me. The picture behind me is of let's say you have Bronson Reed, and I have a couple people that he reminds me of. Bam Bam Bigelow is on this was on this head in here. You have Bam Bam Bigelow, you have Big Van Vader, and you have Crusher Blackwell. So I'm definitely going to talk about Bronson Reed and pretty much the similarities that he have with these guys or don't have with these guys. So definitely going to talk about that. All right, AJ Scales is in the house. What's up, AJ Scales? And then I have my girl, Christine Saucy Girl, in the house. AJ Scales, hey, Harry, AEW Dynamite is tonight, plus AEW Forbidden Door pay-per-view is 2025 next year. Okay, cool. But yeah, we'll be talking about that. AJ Scales, I will be on tonight. Me and Christopher Burton will be on tonight for AEW Dynamite. All right, Christine Saucy Girl is in the house. Happy Hump Day, Harry. Happy Hump Day to you, Christine Saucy Girl. But yeah, guys, we're going to go ahead and talk about this Bronson Reed, man. And look, Bronson Reed, once again, they had Bronson Reed out Monday night. Bronson Reed was out here and, he had this little run-in with Self-freaking Rollins. And, man, it got a little wild there. And you had a lot of people come from the back. You had Bronson Reed and Self-freaking Rollins, especially Bronson Reed, beating up security guards and everything. You're trying to hold him back. He's this big, burly guy. I guess he's probably about, he can't be no more than 6 feet tall, 5'11", 6 feet tall. He's a shorter guy, but just big, 300 and something pounds. Let's see. And he just pretty much just pushing his weight around. And you even had Adam, let's see. What is his name? Damn, I can't even think of his name, man. Adam, his name is Adam, though. The guy who pretty much is the general manager from, the general manager of Raw, man. It's so many Adams out here now. I'm about to say Adam Cole, Adam Page, Adam Pearce. So, yeah, Adam Pearce come out, and Adam Pearce was even involved in trying to hold this guy back, and Adam Pearce is just fussing at him and everything. But, man, when it boils down to it, this Bronson Reed thing has gotten out of hand. It's been going on heavy, very heavy for the last 3 to 4 months. But before that, they've been trying to, 7, 8 months before that, they was trying to push him real hard too. So it's been for a whole year, I'll say, that, that Triple H have been trying to push this guy, man. And I mean, have given him a extensive push to try to get him over with the fans. And the fans, you just now getting the front row. Pretty much a few people at the ringside, doing a little clapping or whatever. But when it boils down to it, he turns the whole arena off, guys. And I remember when he first came back after they had took him off of NXT and they brought him back to the main roster, and he came out, man, and didn't get no buzz in the arena at all. You could hear a pin drop. But this guy went in the ring, hey, wrestled and everything. Nobody cared about him or anything, man. But hey, Triple H must care about him a lot, because Triple H is pushing this guy to the moon, man, pushing this guy to the moon straight up. And wow, I'm just flabbergasted about it. and I know a lot of people are. Definitely a lot of people are. Let's see. All right, there's my girl, Christine Saucy Girl. She said Adam Pierce. Okay. That's all I had to do was look over here at Christine Saucy Girl, and I would have got it. She said Adam Pierce. But yeah, I had got it. It had came back to me, but appreciate that, Christine. But man, yeah, so this guy right here, yeah, they, like I said, they are pushing him to the moon. They are giving him the benefit of the doubt, man. They are trying to make him something special, trying to make him out to be something that he's not, in my opinion. All right, my man Scott Larson is in the house. Hashtag truth. Scott Larson is in the house, and I will be on hashtag truth. My brother coming on hashtag truth tomorrow. Don't miss it. Yeah, I will be on hashtag truth tomorrow, guys. So if you are here, Christine Saucy Girl, AJ Skills, and a couple other people that are here, definitely come on. Definitely come on tomorrow, and I will be announcing that throughout this podcast. Come on tomorrow and check me out. I'll be on Scott Larson's podcast, the hashtag truth tomorrow, man, laying out my story. He's going to pretty much interview me, so I will be giving you guys an inside look of HBT, guys, of Harry Bernard Taylor, how I grew up, and, you know, and the things that I like and why I became a wrestling fan, among other things that I've done in my life. And I also will be talking about God a little bit, man. You know, I'll be talking about the Lord a little bit. You know, I'm going to talk about who the real person I am. You know, talk about the real person that's in me, not just the wrestling me. You know, the wrestling me, this person who became this podcaster, this person who's got out here and done some booking and got pretty much deeply inside this wrestling game, man. You know, I'm gonna go ahead and talk about the person that's outside of that. You know, I'm going to talk about the real me, and I'm gonna talk about the me that loves wrestling, because this right here, wrestling, it was my favorite pastime as a child. It's, you know, I even put it above football back then. And I was a football player. I put it above basketball. I was a basketball player too. But man, I love wrestling more than anything. Even boxing, I love boxing, and that's another thing that I did participate in. So it's been a lot of different things. And I'm also a musician, an artist. A lot of different things that I've done in my life, man. You know, that's probably one of the worst things, probably one of the bad things that's pretty much that's been on me, is because, you know, I've been given a lot of gifts, and, you know, I've used it in different ways, different capacities over the years, but God has given me the gift of being able to witness about him and being a soul healer and things. I mean, not soul healer, but a soul winner. But man, you know, hey, I'm involved in this wrestling thing. I've been doing this wrestling thing hardcore, man, for the last 3.5 years. Very hardcore out here doing podcasts. So basically, let's go ahead and talk about Bronson Reed, guys. And, you know, hey, I don't know what everybody feels about Bronson Reed. All right, let's see. Hashtag truth. Come ask Harry a bunch of questions. Yes, definitely come on there and ask me a bunch of questions. I definitely will answer every question that comes at me, man. You know, I'm gonna at least try to answer every question that comes at me. And like I said, we're gonna talk about wrestling, and I know that's what most people are gonna want to hear about. So I'm definitely gonna be talking about wrestling, man. But yeah, as far as this Bronson Reed, guys, man, he is being pushed like crazy. I'm not gonna sit here and say the guy has no talent, because the guy he's very talented. He's actually a very good wrestler, but the way I look at it is, why is he being pushed the way he's being pushed? I mean, it seemed like, you know, you're just forcing him on us. You're forcing him down our throats, which a lot of people don't seem to want. He has bypassed a lot of very talented wrestlers that's on the WWE roster. You know, they have put this guy in a position that he shouldn't be in, if you ask me. I mean, I don't know what in the world Triple H is doing. I don't know if Triple H has a point to prove that, you know, hey, these guys, man, that I brought into NXT, that I believed in in my heart, that these guys are going to be stars. Even if the fans reject them, I'm gonna make it a point to make these guys a superstar, whether you like it or not. And man, he's definitely doing it. He's taking his platform, which someone else built. You know, somebody else built this platform. Let's go ahead and be honest with you. You know, I could go ahead and put it on Vince McMahon, but I'm gonna go ahead and throw his father in there too, Vince McMahon Sr. They built this platform. They built the WWF, the World Wrestling Federation, Worldwide Wrestling Federation, if you want to go back that far. And then, the World Wrestling Federation and WWE, World Wrestling Entertainment, that was built by the McMahon family, man. Straight up. Triple H, he married into that family. Triple H married into the family. Triple H got some power. Vince McMahon, hey, he pretty much gave it over to Triple H for Triple H to come out here and Triple H be in creative control and everything. But Vince was still there right by his side to help out, to make sure things ran right. And he took it out. He took it from him a couple times, as far as I know. And then Vince went ahead and he sold his stock. He went ahead and sold the company to Endeavor, which Endeavor is part of TKO Holdings. Now Triple H is in charge of all of WWE. He's not just in control of creative. He's just not creative control in the booker. He's in control of all of it. So this man has a lot on his plate. I understand that 100%. Has a lot on his plate. But this man have decided, he have come in and decided, as the person who is in creative control and the person who is running this thing, man, he runs the whole ship over there, that, hey, if I like you, if I love you, if you one of these people that I thought should have got over back in the day, don't matter what the fans think or whatever. If I think you should have got over, if I think you should have got over in NXT, if I think you're a major superstar, I'm gonna make you a major superstar, no matter what anyone thinks. And I'm not gonna say no other booker, no other promoter in the history of world professional wrestling, in the history of the professional wrestling world, hasn't done this before. It's definitely been done. It's not just in wrestling. It's in so many other different areas of life that people have pushed people like that, man. But this guy is being pushed like crazy, man. And it's just, and it gets to the point where it's annoying. And every time I see him, I hear him come out or whatever, I see him, I'm just like, oh my gosh, man. And I know a lot of other people do the same thing. But yeah, he's getting some treatment, man, that he should not get, to tell you the truth, to be honest. Christine Saucy Girl, formerly, honestly, I don't like him. He's dangerous. He needs to be controlled. I don't like him. Yes, he is dangerous, Christine. There's no ins, ands, and buts about that. No ins, ands, and buts about that. All right, 20 of Good Kind Masters says, and CSX 2024 says, hi, how you doing, Lucas? Good to see you. Good to see you, my friend. 100%. But yeah, I know a lot of people are at work. A lot of people at work are doing other things. But hey, if you are at work and you get to listen to this podcast, I appreciate you listening to this podcast. Or if you get to see it, I definitely appreciate it. Or if you get to see it later, I appreciate that, man. Definitely go out and check it out. But yeah, he is dangerous. I mean, he's fast, he's quick, he does a lot of things, but I mean, he's smashing people, man, coming off, diving on people on cars, hitting people with tsunamis, in the ring. He took out R-Truth, he took out The Miz, he took out Braun Strowman on that car, man. And now, and I forgot, I think he did somebody else like that too. But now he's got his set sights on Seth freaking Rollins, who's been one of the top guys, one of the top 5 wrestlers, I say, the last decade in the WWE, in the whole wrestling world. So now they have him against Seth Rollins. So from what I'm seeing is that, man, that Triple H said, okay, I can't get you over by having you take out 2 of the most popular guys, R-Truth, The Miz. I can't get you over by smashing Braun Strowman and whoever else. It's been many other people that he did before that he pretty much just ran over. I can't push you to the moon by doing that. So I'm gonna have you do the same thing to Seth Rollins, and I'm gonna put you in a feud with Seth Rollins. Who really wants to see that? To tell you the truth, guys, this is not a main event. This is a mid-card. That is a mid-card feud, guys. That's a mid-card match, a couple matches, and that's it. It's not a main event. That is not a main event feud. Seth freaking Rollins versus Bronson Reed. So, I'm going to look at it and see how it ends up. If, those two end up going up against each other in the next PLE, what setting is going to be in? Where are they going to put that on the card? I'm very interested to see that. And will Bronson Reed devastate? Will he dominate Seth Rollins? Man, I would be shocked if that actually happened. But to tell you the truth, I wouldn't be shocked if that's something that Triple H talked Seth Rollins into doing, because he is so, it seemed like he's so desperate, guys. Seemed like that he has, it seemed like, man, Triple H just has this thing for Bronson Reed that, man, he has to get over. He has to get over, and it doesn't matter who's in his path. Got to get this guy over. I mean, the way you're pushing this guy, you might as well give him one of the world titles, because right now you got him as the second most important guy in my opinion. You got him as the second most important guy in the business outside of Cody Rhodes. You are pushing him that way, even though fans don't see him that way. And your second man should be your other world champion, because you have two world champions. You have Cody Rhodes and you have Gunther, which Gunther, you're making him look like a goofball right now, guys. I mean, Triple H, you're making the guy look silly. You have taken away his aura of invincibility and making him look like some average guy, man. Something where you basically making him look like he's doubting himself, which no athlete should do. No athlete should do. No very successful athlete should do. Athletes do it all the time, but if you want to be successful, you can't show your weakness, man. You just can't. Not in the fight game, you can't. Not in the fight game. And I don't care if it's scripted or whatever, but when you take away the confidence of a athlete that's in combat, that's in a combat sport, man, you hurt that athlete, and sometimes they never make it back from that. So Triple H needs to watch what he's doing. And this Bronson Reed, guys, Bronson Reed is not saying that Bronson Reed cannot be on top of the mountain, that he can't be one of the top guys in the sport, because he can. There's no ins, ands, and buts about that. You definitely can get him there. But, man, you need to do that gradually, like they did back in the day. Do it gradually and build this guy. But you don't have to build him by beating up your top stars. And that's not saying R-Truth was one of the top stars, or Miz at the time was one of the top stars. But, I mean, I'm talking about as far as wrestlers, but they was top stars as far as their popularity. You don't have to have this guy just crushing your top people. You don't have to do that. Man, you bring this guy up slowly. And I'll talk about that in just a moment here, guys. Give me just a minute here. Wow, give me just a minute here, and I will get to that. Get back to that. I need to do something that I haven't done yet. But yeah, let me go ahead and do something real quick here. All right, got that taken care of. All right, let me get these comments here. Sorry about that, guys. I see they coming up. I definitely see they coming up. So let me go ahead and knock these things out. All right, my man, Will Rally Sport. Hi, Harry. I like Bronson Reed. I see a lot of people don't like Bronson Reed. He's not a top talent. Agree. Mid-card self is top-tier talent. Yes, he is. He's definitely top-tier talent. And it's not saying that Bronson Reed, he has no business being in the ring with him. I'm not going to say that. He definitely has the talent to be in the ring with Seth Rollins, and maybe even win a match or so against Seth Rollins. But out of 10 matches, maybe one. Maybe out of 20 matches, maybe shock him and run out of the ring. Beat him one time. Definitely. But, man, for him to go in there and look like, hey, he's going to have this serious feud with him and he could be the top man out of that feud, no, that right there shouldn't be happening. Straight up. All right, Will Riley Sports says, hi, everyone in chat. Will Riley Sports says, press the like button. Everyone for Harry, definitely appreciate that. Everybody press that like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell, ding, 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 for times like these. Hey, when don't know when we're coming on random, I did go ahead and schedule this one. Came on a little bit later than 2:15. I came on like 2:20, 2:21. But definitely go ahead, man, hit that like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell right here on YouTube, and over on Twitch, you do the same thing that you're doing here on YouTube. And if you're over on Facebook, man, hit that like, share, join. And when you see us over on Twitch, man, on X, man, formerly not Twitter. I mean Twitter. X, formerly known as Twitter, hit that like, tweet, and retweet, and follow the Straight Up Wrestling Show, guys. Appreciate each and every one of you. All right. Thank you, Will Rally Sport, on that, man. Reminding me of that. All right. Will Rally Sport says, I think Triple H likes Bronson Reed. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Will Rally Sport, are you doing a Dynamite live stream later, Harry? Yes, sir. Will Rally Sport. Yes, sir. All right, Raymond Underwood says, hey, Harry, what's going on, Raymond Underwood? All right, Ray. Will Riley Sport, I think he's done okay with he was Jonah after being released by WWE and TNA. Yes, he was. And I think, to tell you the truth, TNA was a great spot for him. New Japan Pro Wrestling, then Triple H rehired him, just to let you know. Yes, he did. I saw him over in TNA. Nice spot for him. Not saying that he's not WWE worthy, because he definitely is. But I think he should have been built a different way. He should have been built a different way. You taking something away from him when it boils down to it. And Bronson Reed it's probably killing him, man, that he is not over yet. He's probably can't understand. Hey, man, why am I not over yet? Why am I not over with the fans yet? And then we'll get to that in just a moment too. All right, Raymond says, I like Bronson Reed as a heel better than a baby face, but all of these attacks in the ring and backstage is just too much. Yes, sir, Ray. Yes, sir, 100%. Will Riley Sports says, hi, Ray. All right, man, but yeah, it is too much. Way too much, man. You going too far with this thing. You really are. They are going too far with it. Man, but yeah, wow. But one thing, the way I would have did it, I would have brought this guy from TNA. I would have put him in the ring, man. I would have put him in the ring. First thing I would have did, I would have put him on. If I'm gonna have to do it on Raw, I'm not sure if he returned on Raw or SmackDown. I can't remember, one of the two. I think he came back on SmackDown first. I'm not sure, and then they switched him over to Raw. But either way it go, let's say just on the main roster, they put him right to the main roster. He skipped NXT, which he was at NXT before, and they got rid of him. But he went straight to the main roster. My thing is this, man, you could have put this guy on the main roster and put him in a match with somebody like, man, let's see. Wow, I can't even think of somebody on the roster that you could put him in a match with on the roster. I'm not going to say anything about who you could have matched him up with against on the roster, but you could have took somebody out of whatever city he came back in first, and you could have got a guy from off the indie scene and put him in a match with Bronson Reed and had Bronson Reed beat this guy, pretty much crush him, look good against him. The next week he comes back, fight a guy in the next city that y'all are in. He's in the first or second match. He takes care of this guy. Then the third night that you bring him back, the third night that he comes back, then you take somebody who's lower on the roster, guys. A goodness sake, man. Who's somebody that's on the roster, man, that you really don't have a lot of jobbers on the roster no more, guys, that are guaranteed, like a guaranteed jobber or whatever. So I guess you could say somebody like, you can bring somebody up from NXT, a Dante Chen or somebody like that, and he defeats him. Start having him defeat, that's the third week. The fourth week, the fourth week you put him in there against Johnny Gargano, and people are like, wow, Johnny Gargano, man, hey, Johnny Gargano against Bronson Reed. Then you have this guy end up beating Johnny Gargano, who's definitely capable of winning a match. And Johnny Gargano almost beat him, hit him with a roll-up or something like that. Johnny Wrestling is an awesome wrestler, but you have Bronson Reed, who actually shows his chops, because this guy can wrestle. Shows his chops against him and, and pretty much wrestle him, but end up taking him out with one of those splashes too. Bam, he beats Johnny Gargano. You have a month in with this guy, and the fans are looking at him. They taking notes of him. Then the fifth week, then goes into the fifth week, and then maybe you can have this guy take on a Tommaso Ciampa or R-Truth, the Miz, have those guys being his next three guys that he take on, and he's pretty much taking care of them. So then you got your 7 weeks in, and then on your 8th week, you have this guy start taking aim that he wants a title shot, man. Hey, doesn't matter which title he gets. Hey, he could have been saying, hey, Logan Paul, I know you got the title, but I'm looking at you, Logan Paul. I want that championship. I want that U.S. championship. Or he could have looked at the Intercontinental Championship and said, hey, go to right now. Hey, right now, I may not be a real contender for this title, but hey, I'm coming. I'm Bronson Reed, and I know that, hey, I'm capable of winning this championship. Hey, I'm on a championship run. That's what I'm looking for. Hey, and I'm building myself back up. I'm showing and proving. I'm doing the thing. I'm doing the right things. And hey, nobody's gonna stop me. Nobody's gonna stop this truck from coming, man. This freight train from coming. Why not build him up that way? You could have built him up, and people would have loved that, man. Straight up, people would have loved it. and they would have been like, hey, this is a guy to take notice of. The fans would have took notice of him because they would be like, hey, he's on a winning streak. He's a big guy. And man, this guy is charging people. He's doing what he needs to do. He's doing what he needs to do. And when he started getting ignored, that's when you come out and have him attack a couple people, a few people here and there. You have him do it, randomly to get noticed. They say, man, I'm beating this person. Nobody's, I'm not getting my shot. Give me my shot if you want to pretty much build him up that way. But nah, man, he didn't get built that way. He got built by just coming out there and just diving on people, smashing on people. Same way that they built up, they building up, what is the name? They building up Bron Breakker. Same way they was building up Bron Breakker by having Bron Breakker just spear people. And Bron Breakker, he definitely has talent. He definitely has talent. He did not have to be built that way either. Bron Breakker could get in there, man. Hey, power slam people, do all the things that he does, and then go ahead and spear people out of the boots, and go ahead and be built up. So what is Triple H doing? Triple H, you telling me that you can't build up Bronson Reed in another way instead of just going in there and hitting everybody with a tsunami? You can't build up Bron Breakker in another way than to have him spear everybody? Everything has to be an attack? That these guys got to attack everybody. And Bronson Reed, I think people really didn't have a lot of problems with Bron Breakker doing it, but Bronson Reed, they definitely did, because Bronson Reed, he's not that type of talent, guys. He's good, but he's not that type of talent. So that right there is going to lead me into my next segue. So I'm going to go ahead and talk about who Bronson Reed reminds me of, guys, and who they are trying to make him out to be, and what people are saying, what kind of wrestler that people are trying to say he is. All right, let's see. Let me grab a few comments here. All right, Will Rally Sport, I get what you mean, Harry. From nothing to suddenly destroying everyone with tsunamis, Miz, R-Truth, self. Yes. That don't make no sense. Don't do that. Why in the world are you doing that? Triple H, why are you doing that? I mean, I don't know what it is about you and these guys, man, that you just have to put over. You're dead set on putting him over. You're dead set on Liv Morgan. You gave her the title. And I understand that you have Rhea Ripley hurt. I understand that not Beth Phoenix, man. What in the world I'm talking about, man? Doggone, I understand Charlotte Flair's not there. I understand the man is not there. Becky Lynch, she's not there. But you got great female talent that's better, that's still on that roster, that's better than Liv Morgan. Even women that came from NXT that just recently signed from NXT, and you got a few on NXT, a couple on NXT that's better than Liv Morgan. Man, I love her, guys. Like I say, I love her. She's a beautiful woman. I mean, she's a very, very pretty girl. But man, should she be the world champion? Is she actually the best? Hey, I want my world champions to be the best. And look, you have put her over your other world champion, Nia Jax. You basically have raised her level up above hers and saying, hey, Liv Morgan, you have put her in a position that she is the best women's world champion. She's the best world champion, women's world champion out there. You have made it that way. So if you're going to give us that, then, hey, you better give us the best female wrestler in the business. Don't just give it to us, give her to us and say, okay, she's in a relationship with Dominic Mysterio, who's a popular Mexican wrestler. He's a popular kid. He's the son of a legend. And man, he was the top heel. He was the top heel here in the business for a while. So we're gonna put Liv Morgan with us, with him, and we're gonna really piss people off and have him turn on Rhea Ripley. But we're gonna give her the title, which she doesn't defend. She's in tag team matches. Same thing with Rhea too. Rhea really didn't defend her title. So what are you doing? You're using that as a cover? Look, I don't have to work hard to try to come up with a storyline for this girl where she is defending, this female, to where she is defending her title week in and week out. Every other week she's defending her title. I could put her in a storyline that pissed people off and put her in the storyline as the girlfriend of Dominic Mysterio, and that right there will be a distraction from everything else. While I'm doing this, I'm having 8 and 10 minute, 12-minute segments or 5-minute segments with this and having everybody focus on this. I do not have to have a match or whatever right there to where, we got to come up with a match where people are going to watch her in a match or watch somebody else in a match or watch people coming up. Because, hey, as far as the competitors, the top contenders for the WWE Women's Championship, we have no clue. We have no clue because you know what? We don't focus on that. We focus on that relationship that Liv Morgan has with Dominic Mysterio. And Liv Morgan, that's another one who is being pushed by Triple H, just like Bronson Reed. That's another one. Guys. Man, it's crazy. 100% crazy. But let me go ahead and get back to these comments here. All right. Let's see. Raymond says, I mean, he can wrestle at any weight, like against Ricochet. Then he can go against Braun Strowman, having him destroying everyone, and everything is just too much. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Raymond. Will Riley Sport, Braun Breaker, great, though. He's going to be world champ couple years. He's much younger than Bronson Reed. Yes. Will Riley Sport says 27. Bronson is 36. Okay. Thank you, Will Riley Sport. Will Riley Sport, he reminds me of Bam Bam Bigelow. That's who I got right there, guys. You can't really see, but let me go off camera for just a moment so you guys can see that. Wow, wait a minute. It ain't showing up. It's not there. It's not showing up, guys, but you guys should have seen it. If you're looking at the promo pic that I have on the page, the promo pic, you have Bam Bam Bigelow, you have Bam Bam Bigelow, you have Big Van Vader and Crusher Blackwell, guys. All right. Let me get back on the screen. All right, so yeah, because my body is covering up Bam Bam Bigelow. Let me see if you. Okay, you should be able to see that, man. Bam, yeah, there he is. Bam Bam, Bam Bam. I got the Bam Bam Bigelow. So look, they about the same size. He might be a little wider than Bam Bam, but they're about the same height wise. Bam may be a little bit taller, but man, yeah, a lot of people say he reminds him of Bam Bam Bigelow, and I'll get to that in just a moment. Will Riley Sports says, or Vader or somebody else. And that's the reason I put them up there, guys. Christine Saucy Girl Liv Morgan has no business being champion. No, she doesn't. Not the first time nor this time. She should be the champion. No ins, ands, or buts about it. She should have never been a champion. Not saying that she didn't get better after her first run, because she did, but she's a tag team champion. You could definitely make her a world tag team champion, but never the champion. And she needs somebody else. She needs to pretty much rely on the strengths of somebody else. Raymond Underwood, he reminds me a little bit of Vader and Bam Bam and Mark Henry with the strength. Okay. Will Riley Sport, Alexa Bliss, Becky Lynch, Charlotte, Carmella, all former champs, come back to WWE. Becky will probably be in the Rumble. Okay, cool. Christine Saucy Girl. There are so many other ladies better qualified. Yes, no doubt. All right, Will Riley Sport, I think Liv has really improved and doing great character work, in my opinion. That's what I'm saying. She definitely has. I will give you that, Will Riley Sport, but still, she is not at the level. She's not world champion material yet. Not yet. All right, Will Riley Sport, but different wrestling fans, different opinions. Yes. Will Riley Sport, Real should be champ. Yeah, but she is hurt. Will Riley Sport, but she's injured. Yes, sir. No doubt. But man, let's get back to Bronson Reed. Let's get back to the comparisons here, guys. Even Big Van Vader. Look, I remember when Big Van Vader was over in New Japan Pro Wrestling. And I remember when Big Van Vader made his American, now he was wrestling in America before he went to the big time. And when I say the big time, he went to the NWA, WCW. He was in America wrestling, but he was wrestling in smaller promotions, CWA, pretty much, global championship wrestling. He was wrestling in these smaller promotions, guys, at that time, regional territories, but it was smaller promotions. They was not the big time. They wasn't the NWA, WCW, NWA, WCW. I'm talking about NWA/WCW, the same thing. It wasn't in the WCW. It wasn't in the World Wrestling Federation. And I'm going to say WWF at the time because it was not World Wrestling Entertainment, even though people say he was in the WWE when he was WWE champion. No, back then it was the World Wrestling Federation. I don't care what worldwide federation, the Worldwide Wildlife Federation want to say about it. It was the World Wrestling Federation back then. But this was before Big Van Vader got into these organizations. But Big Van Vader, I remember when he crossed over, when he came back from New Japan Pro Wrestling, and he came over to WCW, and he was, they had him with that helmet, which is on the bottom of that picture, but I couldn't get it in the screen. But with the helmet, I remember when he first made his debut with WCW. At first, before he came, they showed a video, and that's one thing that they have taken out of wrestling. I wish they go back to, but they showed a video of him in New Japan Pro Wrestling and talked about that he was coming. So, we saw him like 2 or 3 weeks before he actually showed up in WCW. But when he showed up, he ended up, they put him in there against guys, man. I think his first opponent was like Danny Brown. They ended up putting him in there against Danny Brown, George Soft, Italian Stallion. They was putting him in there against those caliber opponents, and he took those guys out quick. Before he built him up. They built him up for, man, like 5 or 6 weeks before he even took aim at Sting. He started taking aim at the world champion back then, man. So the way they built him up was so strong. So they let people take notice of him, and let people, man, they let people take small bites of him, and then you start taking chunks of him and saying, man, wow, I want to see this guy up against the top competition. I want to see him against the Lex Lugers. I want to see him against the Stings. I want to see him against the Barry Windhams. I want to see him against the Rick Rudes. That's what people wanted to see. Those was the guys, the top guys that was in WCW at that time, and people wanted to see Big Van Vader wrestle these guys, man. And I think Sting had the World Heavyweight Championship, and that's who he took it off of, Sting, within 2 or 3 months after he arrived. But we got that energy from Big Van Vader. We got to digest what he was bringing to the table, man, and he brought a lot to the table. He didn't just come in and just start smashing people and demanding that he gets a title shot right off the bat, man. That didn't happen. Kind of like Bobby Lashley going over there and what he's doing to pretty much doing the Swerve. Swerve was their champion. Not saying Bobby Lashley have not earned his stripes, because he definitely earned his stripes over the years. But when it boils down to it, bring Bobby Lashley in there, let him take care of business. Bobby Lashley should have went in there. First thing he should have did when they brought him in is he should have got in the ring. Hey, these guys are dressing in suits and everything. MVP Shelton Benjamin, Bobby Lashley should come in with class, guys. These guys are classy. So let this guy go in and talk one-on-one. Let him talk to Swerve Strickland and say, hey, man, I know you turned down MVP last week, but I'm here. He's been here for a few weeks, so you've had time to think about this. Are you sure? Are you sure? Bobby Lashley should say, are you sure that you do not want to go ahead and reconsider? Think about this. I'm giving you this last chance. That's what Bobby Lashley should have did. And, man, that right there would have been a story for the next couple of weeks. That, hey, not attack him. You would have had everybody in the wrestling world, man, talking about that. And they would have been wondering, hey, they would have been thinking that, man, Swerve got to make a decision. If not, hey, the Hurt Syndicate is going to get him. Mob mentality, man. A great storyline that these guys, that Tony Khan, he messed up right off the bat. I'm sorry to say that, but he did. And this thing with Bronson Reed, it could be great, guys. It definitely could be great. This thing with Bronson Reed could have been great if he would have built this guy up. Same way Bam Bam Bigelow. I remember when Bam Bam Bigelow came into the NWA, WCW, NWA. Bam Bam, man. I never forget when that music hit. Bam Bam. Everybody looking around. Bam Bam. Everybody looked around, and I think they was at the Omni at that time that they was filming it. They filmed it. It was a TV taping in a big arena. I can't remember exactly which arena. It could have been in Macon, Georgia, or somewhere. The Omni in Atlanta, but it was at a big arena. And I think this was right before the Omni was tore down. And Bam Bam Bigelow came out. Came through the crowd, came out, coming over that ramp, man. And wow. Everybody just turned around, looked at this dude. And, I knew about Bam Bam Bigelow, but because of the wrestling books, I knew about him. Never saw him wrestle. Never had saw him wrestle. And, he had, night, that suit that he wears, the black with the fire and all that. He's coming out, bam, bam, got in the ring, just devastated his opponent. He went up against somebody like I think Rocky King was his first opponent in WCW, NWA. He took out Rocky King, who was a very respected, a very lovable guy who's a baby face that everybody loved, even though those guys used to get beat up all the time. Took him out. Next week, this guy comes out and take out another guy who was, I think Chick Donovan. Took out Chick Donovan the next week. And then it went on and on and on. They built this guy up. They did that for about 4 or 5 weeks before this guy was grabbed to the side. He was grabbed to the side by Gary Hart or whatever. And, hey, we're going to bring you in. Bam, bam, big. I got Bam, Bam, Bigelow. And what Bigelow going to do to you, baby? He's going to do this. He's going to do that. And, hey, he's with my side. And I also have the great Muta, or did he have the great Kabuki? I can't remember at the time. I think he had still had Kabuki. And, Bam Bam Bigelow and Kabuki, the things that they're going to do to you, and talking to his enemies. I got Bam Bam on my side. So it was great, man. It was outstanding what was going on. And the way they introduced him. Great, man. Built up this thing to where when they had the next pay-per-view, I can't remember which pay-per-view that he was on first. I don't know if it was on one of the World War pay-per-views or it was Halloween Havoc or whatever, but he went in and he took care of business. And people was dying to see him in there against another big name. He went in and he won the match. I can't remember exactly who he wrestled, but I remember Jimmy Valiant was one of the first ones. The Boogie Woogie Man was one of the first ones that was on this list. But, man, this guy was incredible, man. Incredible the way they introduced him. Built him up into a major star. Like I said, look, I have no problem with Bronson Reed being built up. They build him right. I have no problem with that. But, man, to go ahead and just thrust him and shove him down our throats, force him down our throats, man, that's not the way to do it. Real should be champ, but she's injured. That's the last thing I got from Real Rally Sport. But once again, I appreciate everybody coming in, man. Hey, if you here on Facebook, hit that like, share, join. If you here on YouTube, hit that like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, ding, 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 so you know we're on like times like these, and we're live on Twitch. You do the same thing that you do here on YouTube. Oh gosh, guys, give me a moment. Give me a moment. Just a moment. Well, I'm live right now, so let me call you back, and I'll let you know exactly where it's at, okay? All right, thank you. All right, bye. All right, sorry about that. I got an important phone call. Well, not really an important phone call, just a very good friend of mine, so I definitely want to go ahead and answer her phone call. All right, but guys, man, yeah, it's certain way. It's ways that you build up a wrestler, and it's ways that you don't build up a wrestler. But yeah, so just got finished talking about Bam Bam Bigelow, guys. And the similarities that, people see, this guy being Vader, this guy being Bam Bam Bigelow. Yeah, is there some similarities? Yes. But is he the same caliber wrestler that Bam Bam Bigelow is? No. Bam Bam Bigelow is a top, when Bam Bam Bigelow was in the business, Bam Bam Bigelow was anywhere from like a top 7. He was a top 7 wrestler. Wherever he was at, he was a top 7 wrestler in the business, man. I would say, it didn't matter if he was in WCW or WWE. He was one of the top 7 guys in the business. He was incredible, man. And the other dude, man, Big Van Vader. Vader time, Vader. Which I know a lot of you people just know him as Vader. But Vader, man, he's one of the top 3 or 4 guys that was in the business the whole time he was there. The whole time he was working with WCW, WWE. It's a shame that they didn't push him like that they didn't get him over in the WWE the way, WWF, WWE, whatever it was at the time. It's a shame that they did not push him over like they did over in WCW, man. This guy was incredible. That guy is incredible, man. All right, man. Another guy, man. Let's see. Crusher Blackwell. A lot of you guys don't know him. Jerry Blackwell. A lot of people know him from the AWA. Jerry Blackwell, or if you watch the Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling, the NWA, he was known as Jerry Blackwell then, and Crusher Blackwell. But when he went over to the AWA, they started using Jerry Blackwell more than they was using Crusher Blackwell because of the guy, the legendary Crusher, who's over there. But Crusher Blackwell was something special, man. Crusher Blackwell. This guy reminds me of Crusher Blackwell. If you never saw Crusher Blackwell, go check out Crusher Blackwell. This guy right here, Bronson Reed, reminds me of Crusher Blackwell. Basically the same size, same build, and everything. Bronson may be a little bit more solid, but I'm not going to say he's more talented than Crusher Blackwell. Crusher Blackwell will hit you with drop kicks and all kinds of things, man. He was incredible. But Bronson Reed, man, get up and do a lot of high-flying moves too. But, yeah, this guy, wow, Bronson Reed, man, big ups to him, though. Big ups to him to be able to get that over on Triple H or whatever, that, hey, I deserve to be pushed to the moon. And that's what's happening with him. He's being pushed to the moon. Let me go ahead and put up there, hey, that Bam Bam Bigelow, man. He deserves to get his shot in right there, guys. So Bam Bam Bigelow. Big Van Vader. Big Van Vader. So, man. But, man, it's not too many more things that I want to say about Bronson Reed here. It is what it is. But, like I said, this guy's being pushed. They are pushing this guy like crazy. They're pushing him like crazy. But there's so many people that Triple H have decided to push that came up from NXT. And this one, this guy right here. Now, I know he loves Tommaso Ciampa and he loved Johnny Gargano. I thought he loved Johnny Gargano more than anybody. And Johnny Gargano's wife, man, Candice LeRae, he's just pushing him like crazy. But this guy right here, he's taking it to the next level with Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed, man, he is on a road. He is on a path to where this guy seemed like, hey, man, next he'll have him up there pretty much crushing Cody Rhodes. If you definitely want to get him over, go ahead and have him crush Cody Rhodes. And that may get everyone's attention, because everything else you've done haven't really got people's attention. But if he goes up against Cody Rhodes, he's got everybody's attention. He's got everybody's attention. But I definitely don't want to see that. Please don't let us see that. But yeah, so this guy is just like I say, Johnny Gargano, Candice LeRae, Tommaso Ciampa, and there's been a few others that came out of that came from NXT that Triple H have pushed on us, guys. I mean, he has shown us without a doubt, that he's willing to push these people on us. It doesn't matter if we like it or not. Hey, I'm going to give it to you. It's just like the song that Busta Rhymes has. What's that song that Busta Rhymes has? Give me some more. Give me some more. Hey, guys, you saw this tsunami? Hey, give me some more. Yeah, you got another tsunami in this week. Give me some more. Give me some more. And everybody, man, you see these guys that I had in the NXT, these guys they didn't get over. Hey, give me some more. I'm gonna go ahead and bring these guys to you guys. I'm gonna give you more and more of this stuff, man. But it seemed like it has culminated with Bronson Reed. It's like, Bronson Reed, you have made it a point. You basically making it a point that, hey, this guy's a superstar, whether you people like it or not. It does not matter the detriment to the company that it does. Hey, while I'm in power, this guy is going straight to the top. Going straight to the top. He's not going to be stopped. And you're showing us that, Triple H, that you're willing to do that. You're willing to do that. And let's look at another guy. Let's look at another guy, man, that this guy is pretty much similar to. And that is, who is the guy that used to be, man, I love this guy. Who was the guy, man, that was running around with, goodness sake, man. Who's the other guy, man? Otis. Goodness sake, I couldn't even think of his name, guys. Could not even think of his name. But Otis, guys, I remember when we first started this podcast 3.5 years ago. Man, Otis was just incredible. Otis was just killing people. He was a bowling ball, man. He was unstoppable. He was unstoppable. And he was out here, man. He was out here. He was doing work for who was the guy that he was with? The Olympian guy, man. The guy, the God Almighty, can't even think of his name, but Otis. They had Otis not being stopped, man. Nobody could stop Otis. They could not stop Otis at all. Otis was running over people. What's up, Joe Z? Yeah, Otis is a bowling ball with legs. But, man, 3.5 years ago, man, Otis was just, man, Otis was killing people, man. He was killing people. Who was the guy that he was with, man? The guy who wrestles like Kurt Angle. Can't think of his name. Joe Z, go ahead and give me that name. I can't even think of his name right now. That's how they have made him irrelevant. And this guy right here, he's a top tier wrestler, man. He's on the top tier level. The guy that I'm thinking of, I can't even think of his name right now, but he's top tier level. The guy that he recently just ran with. Yeah, Chad Gable. Chad Gable, man. Chad Gable, Otis. Chad was sending Otis out there, man, to destroy people. Otis, nobody could stop him. Otis was just running over people. Only person that could stop Otis, man, was that big giant Omos. That's the only person that beat Otis back then. That Otis didn't take out. But everybody else, Otis ran over. And I'm talking about top name people. Otis ran them over. But not to the extent that this dude did, that Bronson Reed did. I mean, Bronson Reed he's hurting people. He's destroying people. It's crazy. Otis is a jobber. Hate that worm he does. Exactly. Man, look, he's a mid-carder. Straight up. And look, like I said, guys, it's not saying that the guy's not talented. He has talent. But he's a mid-carder, guys. He's one of these mid-carders that you bring in that does well for a while. Then you start having this guy lose. And maybe win a match every now and then. But that's the type of wrestler that he is. That's who he is. But I've already given the blueprint of how you build somebody up like that. You build him up by having him beat other jobbers and have him move his way up and then ask for title shots, come out there and demand title shots and maybe attack a couple people and demand title shots. But you don't have him come out there and just smash up your best wrestlers, or just put it this way, your most popular talent. Because R-Truth, widely popular at that time. Huge. Miz, huge. Seth Rollins, man, what in the world? You got this guy battling Seth Rollins like he's on Seth Rollins level. I will never understand that. And I won't accept that. And it's not just me. The fans are not accepting that. You can see that, Triple H. You got eyes. I know you can see. Unless you back there just doing some paperwork or whatever. I know you can see, man. Straight up. Wow, man. It's been crazy. It has been crazy. But, wow. But, yeah. This thing with your NXT, all these guys, man, that you have in NXT that you have brought up and tried to make them a star has just been crazy. Have been crazy. And that's not saying that Bronson Reed didn't deserve a chance. I don't know what was going on. I don't know what kind of sob story he gave you. I mean, man, maybe this guy ran up a lot of debt some kind of way. Maybe he has a gambling problem or something, or has some kind of problem. He ran up a lot of debt, and this guy is trying to put this guy in a position to where when y'all negotiate this contract next, that, hey, this guy he's a huge asset to the company, that you can pretty much pawn him off on Endeavor or TKO, which one of these guys, whoever, or negotiating the contracts, and say, hey, this guy is a very huge asset. We need to give him a lot of money. Is that it? I don't know. But you're not gonna get this guy. You're not gonna put him in the position of a Gunther. You're not going to put him in the position of a Cody Rhodes. You're not going to put him in the position of a Drew McIntyre. You're not going to put him in the position of a Sheamus. You're not going to get him in that type of position, man. You're not. It's not going to happen. Who else the top tier guys? You're not going to get him in the position of a Randy Orton. You're not going to get him in a position of a man. Who else did you? I mean, it's a lot of other top tier stars that was there. You know, this guy will never become a Bobby Lashley. And you had this guy, oh yeah, Bobby Lashley, another guy you had this guy smashing and giving a hard time. Man, Bobby Lashley had a hard time in the ring with this dude. Didn't this guy beat Bobby Lashley in one match? I think Bobby Lashley beat him once, beat him too, but I think this guy won one match against Bobby Lashley. Unbelievable, man. But yeah, I just now remembered that you had this guy take out Bobby Lashley. What kind of garbage is that? You had Bobby Lashley look very mediocre against him. Bobby Lashley has the power to take out that big dude and take him out fast and quick and do the things that he do. But you had Bobby Lashley. You had this guy destroy Bobby, not really destroy Bobby Lashley, but you had him hang in there with Bobby Lashley and do all kind of things, man. He was just running over him like a big freight train, man. It was unbelievable. Crazy. But yeah, I had forgot about that. All right, Josie said, just got to see Gladiator 2 this morning. Definitely recommend. Denzel is a great bad guy and along with new evil emperor. In it was great. No spoilers, but make his pet monkey emperor laugh out loud. Denzel great in it. Okay, I definitely would check that out, Josie. I definitely would check out Gladiator 2. Just had to say, definitely recommend Gladiator 2, but no man, Bobby Lashley is a high card jobber. No, I'm not going to call him a high card jobber. I'm not. Just because, one thing about Bobby Lashley, just because they didn't know how to book him, he's definitely not a jobber. You're talking about somebody that's very talented. Bobby Lashley, straight up. But man, wow, man, it's been a good day so far. Wow, I need to get in. I'm gonna go and shave my face, guys. Go ahead and pretty much start making some dinner here, guys, in just a little bit. But man, I've had fun here. All right, Bronson will fall hard. Yeah, he will. Well, when it's a fail either way it go. I don't see where he's going with this, how this thing gonna come out. But man, if you can't get him over by putting him in there against Seth freaking Rollins and having him destroy Seth Rollins, you have nothing. And to tell you the truth right now, Seth stock has fallen. Even Sami Zayn is above this dude, man. So I just don't know. I'm like, what's going on? Triple H, that's what I want to know. We at the Straight Up Wrestling Show, Straight Up Wrestling Show, and family, we want to know what in the world is going on. Why are you doing this? Why are you feeding this guy to us, man? Why are you giving us something that we don't want? I think people will hear and stop the push. Yeah, that's true. But yeah, I just gotta ask, man, why are you giving us this Bronson Reed guy, man? I don't understand it. I do not understand it. And straight up, guys, as many people that see him, as a Big Van Vader, or that man right there, that other man I have on the screen, as many people want to see him as a Big Van Vader, Bam Bam Bigelow, and Crusher Blackwell, who he definitely reminds me of Crusher Blackwell. He's not guys, man. None of these guys. These guys was extremely talented, built like him, but definitely a different beast. Those guys were different beasts. Straight up, guys. Straight up. But man, I appreciate everybody coming in here to Straight Up Wrestling Show, listening to me this afternoon, guys, as I went ahead and rocked out with this podcast. We almost at an hour. If you didn't get to hear this podcast, go back and check this thing out a little bit later. It will be up on the Straight Up Wrestling Show, not going anywhere. It's going to be up on my Facebook page. My personal Facebook page is on there. Harry Bernard Taylor is on the Straight Up Wrestling Show Facebook page. Is on our Twitch. Hey, and I'm gonna go ahead and take a few clips. Go ahead and put it out on our Twitter, man, our X account, and I'll probably go ahead and put it on. I'll put a little bit of this, take a little clip of this and put it out on my TikTok, guys, straight up. But man, hey, Appreciate everybody coming in to the Straight Up Wrestling Show, checking me out this afternoon. Stay straight up. Talk to each and every one of you guys tonight as we do Wednesday Night Dynamite. Stay straight up. Peace.